And they shall make an ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, within and without shalt thou overlay it, and shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof, and 2 rings shall be in the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it. And thou shalt make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. And thou shalt put into the ark the testimony, which I shall give thee. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold. Of beaten work shalt thou make them, in the 2 ends of the mercy seat, and make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall you make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubims shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings. And their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony, of all things which I will give thee, in commandment unto the children of Israel. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold, of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knobs, and his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knob and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knob and a flower, so in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knobs and their flowers. And there shall be a knob under 2 branches of the same, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, and a knob under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick. Their knobs and their branches shall be of the same, all it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it. And the tongs thereof, and the snuff dishes thereof, shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it, with all these vessels. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount.
You shall also make a table of acacia wood. 2 cubits shall be its length, 1 cubit its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. And you shall overlay it with pure gold, and make a moulding of gold all around. You shall make for it a frame of a handbreadth all around, and you shall make a gold moulding for the frame all around. And you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that are on its 4 legs. The rings shall be close to the frame, as holders for the poles to bear the table. And you shall make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be carried with them. You shall make its dishes, its pans, its pitchers, and its bowls for pouring. You shall make them of pure gold. You shall set the showbread on the table before me always.
This is going to blow your mind. What is the significance of the golden lampstand? How does the almond tree symbolize wisdom? What is the connection between the tree of life and the tabernacle? I don't think people understand the true significance of the golden lampstand. Exodus 25:31-40, the lampstand. The next piece of holy furniture presented after the table is the lampstand. The order is not random, for the lampstand must shine continuously in front. Now in front of the lampstand was the table with the 12 loaves of bread. The light of the Lord was therefore constantly pouring out towards the 12 tribes of Israel. So another thing that the bread must do to be part of the heavenly harmony is to keep its place before the lampstand, that is, to walk in the light, to remain in the light. And this light reveals what is unclean and sick, but it also brings the guidance needed by the one who wants to be healed. The lampstand lights up continuously. It is up to the loaves of bread to remain continuously in the light of the lampstand. The lampstand is made of pure gold. The only piece of sacred furniture that is 100% pure gold. Only the atonement cover and the 2 cherubim on it are also made entirely of pure gold. We are thus suggested a 100% heavenly divine nature. We no longer find acacia wood covered in gold. However, although the lampstand is made of gold, its shape is that of a tree. Does this send us to humanity, to human nature? Not necessarily. We will explore these possibilities. The lampstand is made of pure gold and is made all in one piece from a single talent of gold. It is not made up of several elements from several components. It is about a single identity, a single nature, an absolute one, a perfect unity. However, although it is made of a single talent of gold, it has 6 arms or 6 branches, as the Septuagint translates it. We have a shaft, a main trunk, and 6 branches come out of them, 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. It is certainly a stylized tree. So that we have no hesitation in this regard, on each of the 6 branches are made 3 small cups, 3 cups in the shape of almond blossoms with their flowers and buds. So it is a stylized almond tree, or rather a stylized flowering almond tree, and this golden tree burns continuously without going out and illuminates the loaves of bread before the Lord. And it is about the almond tree, not the acacia. Here is what the Biblical Dictionary tells us about the almond tree. The almond tree blooms in the Holy Land starting in January. The Hebrew name for this tree, which means awakens, suggests that it is the first of all the trees to awaken after the passing of winter. So it is the first tree to resurrect to life after the winter. The parallel with Jesus as the first one resurrected from the dead becomes almost irresistible. The flowers are white with shades of pink, and can be likened by analogy to the white-haired patriarch, according to Ecclesiastes 12:5. The beauty of the almond tree has often been copied in ornamental works, as we see in Exodus 25:33-34. Besides being rich in oil, almond kernels were a favourite food in Palestine and were an acceptable gift sent by Jacob to Egypt, according to Genesis 43:11. This is probably the tree indicated in Genesis 30:37, and is mentioned in Jeremiah 1:11-12, when the Lord asks Jeremiah, "What do you see?" And the prophet answers, "I see a branch of almond tree." Then the Lord explains to Jeremiah, "You have seen correctly, for I am watching to see that my word is fulfilled." What it is all about? It is in fact a play of words in Hebrew, because in Hebrew the word used for the almond tree is very similar for the word used for watching. In this way, the almond tree becomes a symbol of God's faithfulness for the fact that the Lord promptly fulfills all his words. The almond tree, the first tree who awakes in the winter, and it is brought to life by God's faithfulness over this part of his creation, becomes an indisputable guarantee that God will bring all creation to life and fulfill all his promises made for all his creation. Just what has been said above opens up so many perspectives for us in the complex symbolism of the lampstand. We think first of the tree of life. The tree of life is placed in the Garden of Eden. Now, the tabernacle of Moses shows us the way back to the lost Eden. Indeed, the tabernacle is positioned so that the direction from the gate of the tabernacle to the Holy of Holies follows the east-west axis. Now, man was driven out of Eden to the east. The way back to Eden is from east to west. At the entrance to the garden are placed cherubim to guard the road that leads to the tree of life. At the entrance to the tabernacle we find cherubim on the curtain. Thus the tabernacle can be an image of the lost paradise. And if in paradise a central element was the tree of life, then we expect to find the symbol of this tree in the tabernacle as well. The tree of life is a life-giving tree. Whoever eats from it lives eternally, gains eternal life and does not die. God's concern is that after man has sinned, he should not somehow eat from the tree of life and live forever. Life means light, and light means life. In him, that is Jesus Christ, was life, and the life was the light of men. John 1:4. Therefore, the tree of life can only be a light-giving tree. It truly illuminates the one who eats from the tree with truth and about truth. Through this knowledge of the truth, the one who eats from the tree remains in true life. For eternal life is precisely the knowledge of the truth. It is no coincidence that the lampstand is a stylized almond tree. We have seen that almond kernels were a favorite food in Palestine. The tree of life was placed in the middle of the garden, as it is written in Genesis 2:9. It is not clear where the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was placed, but the tree of life was certainly in the middle of the garden. Man could eat from any tree in the garden except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, so man could eat from the tree of life as well. But he did not eat from the tree of life according to Genesis 3:22. Instead, he ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Why didn't he eat from the tree of life? Why, on the other hand, did he choose to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? If he ate from the tree of life, could he still eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Besides Genesis and the tabernacle, where else do we find the image of the tree of life? In Proverbs 3:18 we read that wisdom is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her, and those who have her are happy. In Proverbs 11:30, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the wise win souls. It is wisdom that plays for sinful man the present function of the tree of life. He who feeds daily on the almonds of wisdom and the fear of the Lord gains life, gains the knowledge of God, the power to keep his commandments, and finally eternal life. But the righteous who partakes of the tree of life of wisdom himself becomes a tree of life for those around him. Thus the wise, the one who is fed on almonds, wins souls. The life of the righteous becomes a fruit from which those who seek the Lord can feed. At the heart of the lampstand symbolism lies the profound truth that Jesus Christ is the true meaning of the lampstand, illuminating our path and guiding us with his eternal light. As we conclude our journey through the profound symbolism of the golden lampstand, let us take a moment to reflect on how its light can illuminate our own lives. The golden lampstand is not merely a religious symbol, but a beacon of inspiration for our everyday existence. Its light reminds us of the importance of spiritual enlightenment and wisdom from Jesus in our decisions. The intricate structure of the lampstand teaches us about the beauty of details and meticulous craftsmanship. The almond tree's symbolism urges us to remain vigilant and prepared for life's inevitable changes. The tree of life reconnects us with God, emphasizing the importance of maintaining a balanced and meaningful life. Ultimately, let us remember that wisdom is the key to navigating life's challenges and finding light in moments of darkness. So as we go forth, may we carry the lessons of the golden lampstand with us, allowing the light of Jesus to guide us towards a brighter, more enlightened future.
And thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon, of shittim wood shalt thou make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 square shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the height thereof. The horns thereof shall be of the same. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, the top thereof and the sides thereof round about, and the horns thereof. And thou shalt make unto it a crown of gold round about. And 2 golden rings shalt thou make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof. Upon the 2 sides of it shalt thou make it, and they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with thee. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning when he dresseth the lamps. He shall burn incense upon it. And when Aaron lighteth the lamps at even, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonements. Once in the year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto the Lord.
You shall make an altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square. Its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horn shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. Also you should make its pans to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall make a grate for it, a network of bronze, and on the network you shall make 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. You shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, that the network may be midway up the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. You shall make it hollow with boards, as it was shown you on the mountain, so shall they make it.
Exodus chapter 30. The bronze basin. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, You shall also make a basin of bronze, and its base of bronze, in which to wash. You shall put it between the tent of meeting and the altar. You shall put water in it. Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet in it. When they go into the tent of meeting, they shall wash with water, that they not die. Or when they come near to the altar to minister, to burn an offering made by fire to the Lord, so they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they not die. This shall be a statute forever to them, even to him and to his descendants throughout their generations.
And thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle for the south side southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen, of 100 cubits long for one side, and the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be an hanging of 20 cubits, of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework. And their pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars round about the court shall be filleted with silver, their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. And the length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle in all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass.